Next one comes in from Guru Shishya. Apologies for butchering your name there.
Good attempt.
For the mailbag, do Atkins and Schneider survive this postseason collapse? And if so, do you agree with keeping them for next season? Thanks.
Okay, well, let's start with Ross Atkins. He was just given a 5-year contract extension.
He's not going anywhere.
Last offseason, the second that Rogers gave Mark Shapiro his contract extension. Ross Atkins is Shapiro's guy.
Yep.
So, no, he's not going anywhere. In fact, I think he's pretty safe for at least the next couple of years. Even, honestly, I think Ross Atkins is safe if the Blue Jays don't make the playoffs next year, which is probably a little too safe if you ask me. Do I think that Atkins should be fired right now? No, probably not. I mean, you look at what they have laid out as their timeline, they're pretty on time with it. You look at the way they have built this team, it's a pretty well-built team. Are there holes? Are there deficiencies? Yeah, we've just seen them firsthand. Are they going to go about fixing it? I mean, they have the last couple off seasons tried to address their areas of need. As for John Schneider, and I think you touched on it a little bit, Adam, I think he's probably the guy. I don't know if he's necessarily the guy I want, but I don't think that it's going to speed anything up if we replace him. And so if you're just going to stick with the same timeline, John Schneider is probably the guy you go with. And he's probably the guy you go with for the next couple years, right? It looks pretty bad on a front office if they're constantly cycling through managers. And I know Ben Ennis touched on this yesterday when we had him on the show. And we asked him straight up, do you think John Schneider's back? And he was like, I really do. And the biggest reason for that is the optics, right? Like you fire Charlie halfway through the season, you fire Schneider after the season, especially after the way this team played for Schneider in September, which was, we touched on this earlier in the show, right? The whole reason this team was even in the playoffs was because of the incredible September that they put up. So me personally, if I'm a betting man, John Schneider's back. Ross Atkins is here until Mark Shapiro's gone, or until Mark Shapiro's feeling heat from the ownership, and then maybe he makes a move.
Yeah.
Because, self-preservation's job one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I actually do like Atkins. I know there's a lot of Alex Anthopoulos fans that still yearn for those days, but he's gone, so get over it.
Yeah.
Like we've had a lot of terrible general managers.
Yes.
I could tell you
and he's not one of them. Yes, Ross Atkins is not one of them.
I can tell you as a Montreal Canadiens fan, having a terrible GM there's no hope. It's painful to be a hopeless fan where you just don't have any faith in the guy steering the ship, right? And part of sports and management in general is being able to manage past today and manage past tomorrow, right? And set plans in motion that might pay off 2 years from now, and being able to reap the rewards of those plans, right? As long as they're good plans. But if it's a revolving door of managers, man, like you can't have a guy that comes in with a new strategy every 2 years and now the last guy's plans are paying off, but we've already moved on to something else, so it doesn't matter.
And we touched on this, right? Dynasties are not built overnight. Winners are not built overnight. The framework of what Ross Atkins has done is very admirable. I am all on board with it. Is Ross Atkins perfect? Fuck no. My God. Are there things I wish that he strategically viewed differently? Yes. Bullpen being a big one. His view of the bullpen is very different from what I would hope that it would be. He truly does like guys who give a different look. I'm all for it. I like Adam Simber. I like Tim Mesa. I think that the way that they throw the ball does give a unique look and a tough at bat. Do I wish there was more velo in the bullpen? Yes. Do I wish that they had a few more options to go to when it comes to left-handers? Yes, I do. Are these things that are going to be addressed in the offseason? Maybe. Like, I don't know, man. I do believe in what Ross Atkins is doing.
I think Schneider's safe. I know it doesn't look good to keep doing new managers. I think Atkins can get away with it once, saying, well, Schneider was never going to be our guy. We just needed something to get us through the season. So there is the possibility they let him go. They say or retain him, as a whatever, assistant coach type role, whatever. Yeah. But bring in a Madden or a Girardi or whoever. And but then that guy that's the guy, whoever the next manager is, whether it's Schneider or anybody else, that's the guy that Atkins is putting his stamp of approval on, and that guy needs to work out because he's already put his stamp of approval on Charlie. That didn't work out.
You get 2 stamps as a general manager before you start getting some heat.
We always say you get 2 stamps. So, but that being said, I think Schneider is probably the guy. I think he did a great job with a really good team the second half of the year after taking over. I think he needs to enter next season with a different approach, or like a more focused approach, knowing that, okay, I'm the guy, and he needs to have a better strategy on.
And management learns too, right? Like there is growing pains when it comes to building a team, just like there is with managing a team, just like there is with being on that team and learning how to win. So hopefully this is just another step towards the promised land, is the dream. We really appreciate all of you within the walk-off community. This thing continues to grow and become an animal of its own. It's a little bit overwhelming, but honestly, we love talking Blue Jays baseball and all the interaction that you folks are involved with us. Thank you so much. Discord, feel free to join it. That is always free. The show, or the link is in the show notes. You can follow us on Twitter at Walk Off Podcast, on Instagram, the Walk Off Podcast. And if you are watching on YouTube currently and you're not subscribed, we'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. All the best, everybody. Cheers.